A very interesting article came out about cryptocurrency and the companies in the crypto space, specifically major exchanges that have conquered the space when it comes to sports media advertising partnerships. Crypto.com is on the top of the heap when it comes to it. We're going to look at the article of who some of the other top exchanges are and why Crypto.com has been so significant in this space. But what I really want to dive into in this video is the immediate price action for the CRO token. I am currently looking at Bitcoin and wondering, can we break back down below $100,000? I do think that a test of $100,000 is looking very possible right now, but there's a few things that we need to consider as we look for this potential move. Welcome back to the Crypto Report, everybody. I'm Crypto Kip. Let's talk about the level of support we got to see for CRO and get into it. Smash a like, subscribe to the channel, and let's get into the charts. CRO on the weekly time frame, these are the weekly candles. Previously, we were up at $1 in this last bull market, and the closest we got in this cycle, guys, so far was about 24 cents, which is something that I think people have been disappointed in so far. But what I want to remind you all is we have not had a true altcoin season yet, where Bitcoin dominance falls down like this, and then altcoins boom. A lot of altcoins have been underperforming compared to what they've done in the past, with some exceptions like XRP, which had a great move, Solana, but those have been calm to flat lately as well. In terms of the price action for CRO, I really do think that it's possible for us to come a little bit lower, especially if Bitcoin touches or breaks below $100,000, to potentially go to the 8.6 cent level, maybe even get one of these big wicks to the downside and see something around, tough to say out loud, 7.5 cents being a possibility. Why do I say that? Well, I'm in currently a short position on Bitcoin. As you can see, I'm kind of putting my money where my mouth is. A $2,000 20x short with my stop loss set in the profit. So if this stop loss gets stopped out, I will have profited on this trade no matter what. And what I like to do, especially when I'm making these videos for you guys, is show you, limit your risk. In fact, take more profit as these trades go more in the profit so that you're a winner. Or if your trades go the wrong way, that you end up protecting yourself from the trade going the wrong way. If you want to do some trading for yourself, you could sign up for Blowfin using the link in the description down below. I'll get more to why I'm bearish in a second. In the very short term, I'm bullish. I think that CRO can go to $1. I think Bitcoin can go to $200,000, probably higher, but I do have this trade in place for a reason. On a positive note, Crypto.com is getting mentioned in this recent article. So this is a sports publication, and I saw this headline I want to share with you guys today. Crypto sports sponsorship spends 20% to US $565 million. Here we go. Crypto.com, Coinbase, and OKX are the biggest spenders, expecting 2025 and 26 spend to be returned towards all-time peak. What does that tell you guys? That tells you if these crypto companies are projected to be spending a ton of money on crypto advertising in 2025 and 2026, why would they do that? Let's think about this, guys. The last time that Crypto.com did something massive for their sponsorships, and by the way, look at all these partners they've been with, UFC, Crypto.com Arena. Do you remember when the Crypto.com Arena news came out? Well, I'll tell you if you don't know. It came right at the heat of the peak of the last bull market. It came right when you saw this price action happening for Crypto.com. This was one of the biggest crypto deals for advertising we have seen ever. And at the time, it was absolutely a mind-blowing story. Why did they invest so much money into acquiring the Staples Center and making it the Crypto.com Arena? Well, because they knew that these beautiful moments were going to come. They knew that it was a bull market. They knew that these prices were going to pump. And when the prices were pumping, they wanted to be the exchange that everybody used, and they wanted people to, I believe they wanted people to buy CRO, but they really wanted people to utilize their exchange. That's probably the biggest thing. And then CRO, they're obviously cheering for CRO. We saw recently the Crypto.com CEO tweeting about $CRO token. But these partnerships are massive. F1 Racing, LA Kings, they even had more at one point, but they did a lot of this spending when the market was hot in the last cycle. So as I see a story like this, that we're going to see the 2025-2026 ad spend return to all-time peak, well, that means that the prices are set to potentially return to their all-time peaks as well, which is why I'm bullish on, $1 or maybe a $2 CRO, right? And then you kind of look through this and they go through some of the confirmed partnerships. But again, I just want to double down for you here. Quote, at a brand level, Crypto.com, Gate.io, and Kraken stand out. Crypto.com consolidated their category leadership by adding Champions League to its beautifully curated sports sponsorship portfolio. They go into Gate.io here, but this is what experts in the industry are recognizing in the advertising space, in the sports space. Crypto.com is one of the biggest names out there. So why am I bearish in the short term? Well, there's a lot of volatility in crypto. And guys, I'm taking advantage of the volatility. That's why I've been trading lately. Recently, we've seen the news about tariffs. That's been problematic, no doubt about it. But then we also saw Tariff 2.0, the threat of Liberation Day 2.0, potentially more tariffs kind of coming along if these negotiations don't go well. Then last week, we saw conflict rising in the Middle East. That's not so good for price action either. So I entered this position. I'm happy to have my stop loss, my take profit set in the profit. And I look at Bitcoin and I notice that we've broken through a trend line that I've been looking at for a while. And a next obvious level that we could potentially test, which we didn't test last time we dipped, is $100,000. We actually did come down to 100,400, but I think we could come a little bit lower. Maybe even getting a wick into the 99s, maybe even into the 98. But I think a bodied candle close on the daily time frame off 100K would make a lot of sense to me. Could we go lower than that? It is possible. My next level would be 92K, and below that would be $88,000. That's the level I'd be looking at. And for CRO, if you see Bitcoin break below $100,000, I think that the level would be 8.5 cents. But could it go lower? I mean, it could. We could see it come back down to 7 cents to this before this big explosion happened back in October of 2024. But I want to remind you guys this. Even if I'm trading volatility to the downside, it doesn't mean that I am not bullish. We just talked about how sports advertising is likely going to increase significantly in 2025, 2026. Why is that? Because the bull market is probably still ahead. We're probably going to see the Fed cut rates at some point in this year. And when the Fed cuts rates, that's a risk on asset rally point. And we have not seen an altcoin season yet. Bitcoin's more popular than it's ever been before. I think it's obvious. Now, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not here to give financial advice, but I love trading. I love reporting on crypto news, and I'm going to keep doing all that, guys. So smash the like, subscribe, DCA HODL. 2 videos here if you want to check them out. Let me know what your thoughts are on this in the comments down below. I'll see you in the next one, guys. Peace.